Замечена пехота противника.
Hey guys, my name is the Russian Badger, and you just witnessed the most powerful sniper rifle in all of Bad Company, which of course is the PP2000, also known as the PP2K or the Double B2K. Now with that being said, really, who needs a bolt-action sniper rifle that has bullet drop when you can just slap an ACOG scope on a submachine gun and have rounds that fly virtually straight for miles upon miles? Well, not quite. But I wanted to go ahead and start off by describing my weapon setup for you. I know it's not common, it's fairly unconventional, and it's going to be the 9891 Optimat, which is the submachine gun that has extraordinary damage and a very, very low clip size. And of course, I'm also using the Carl Catfish, also known as the Carl Gustav, but I'll get into that later. And the reason that I'm using the 9891 is because it was recommended by a gentleman who views me. I don't remember what his name is, but he was puzzled as to why so few people use the submachine gun. And I can tell you right now, I was just introduced to it recently. I played it a little bit during the demo, but I really didn't use it very extensively. And I can say with great confidence that it is my favorite submachine gun, even though I've just really discovered it and started using it quite frequently. But it is by far my favorite. I know that it has comparable stats to the SCAR, and I'll get into that in just a second. I have to identify. My teammate was, or my squad mate rather, was C4ing the objective. I remember yelling into my microphone so loud. I was like some kind of velociraptor on heroin, but I was so angry. And he did eventually end up C4ing it. I thought he was going to just use it as a trap, but I guess not. He's actually just going to C4 it. So whether or not that gentleman is going to remain on my friends list for very much longer is debatable right now, but I will make that decision in due time. And the reason that there's so few enemies back here is what they did was they all pushed up towards our spawn because they thought we were going to be really stagnant and not aggressive, and they were just going to spawn campus and get rid of all our tickets that way. But we flew right directly over them with a helicopter, and so they were just chasing and trying to retreat the entire time, but we had already had both objectives destroyed by that time. So that spawn camping strategy that they tried to adopt just completely backfired on them. And here, as you can see, I'm using the Carl Catfish, and a few seconds ago, I don't know if you saw that or not, I got a headshot with the M2 Carl Catfish. I almost said Gatfish, like it's some kind of gunfish, because I know that's a slang term in the hood, as they say. A gat supposedly is a gun. But they were doing a lot of spawn camping, which is not something that I particularly enjoy, although I do engage in it from time to time if the opposing team is being quite annoying, or if I just want the game to go by faster if I'm defending. But really, I think about it this way. I think of spawn campers as just these children, and they just receive their sustenance, and the only way that they can survive is if they just get kills, and the easiest way to do that is just to spawn camp. And I believe there was a Roman philosopher that commented and made a reference to this spawn camping behavior, and I believe his name was George Gordon Haggard Jr. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. I believe he's a Roman and not Greek. But he once said, and I'm just paraphrasing here, but this was the quote by George Gordon Haggard Jr. "Mama's little baby loves shortening. Mama's little baby loves shortening bread." Now let that marinate in your brain for a second. I don't want to bust out any kind of allegories here, metaphorical references, but I really can't discuss that quote any further because obviously it was a reference to spawn camping, and it's just too vast for my brain to even comprehend, so let's move on from that. And yet again here, I get hit by the level 6, Rafapia. I don't think he's a level 6 because an ordinary level 6 does not have that kind of pinpoint accuracy. Maybe he was just getting lucky, but I'm going to show him what it actually feels like to have a moderately blunt and or moderately sharp, if that makes any sense, blade shoved into the side of your cranium. And I've heard that it's not the most enjoyable experience. Maybe I'm wrong, but I hear it's not exactly a joyful event that you can have happen in your life. But he's going to experience it here in just a few seconds here. I'm going to flank around wider than my squad mates, and he's going to be completely... He's not even going to know where I am, and dog tags are mine for all of eternity. I hope you enjoy that. And just to illustrate really why I call this the M2 Carl Catfish is I think the blast radius is a little too large, and I'm just going to get 3 straight snipes with it, and obviously I can just hit it right next to the objective. If I just hit that floor, that ground right next to the objective, that splash damage and that kill radius, it's obviously going to eliminate anyone trying to defuse the objective, which is what happened right here. And although it can be argued that the trade-off is that the M2 Carl Gustav, it doesn't have the same effectiveness against tanks as it does infantry. It specializes in infantry, so it's a lot better against it compared to the RPG, which is better against vehicles. But I still think the blast radius is a little humongous when you slap on that explosive weapons damage specialization, which I do not have on right now. I actually have magnum ammo. I don't know if you guys caught that at the beginning of this game, but I definitely have magnum ammo on. And just on that topic, I don't know if you guys heard about the patch, but it was primarily the patch for PC. Whether or not those changes are going to translate over to exactly the same changes on console. Obviously, you guys know some changes that are made on PC aren't always the same changes made on console, but on the PC patch that was just released, I believe it was the 29th, the Abacon was changed, the M60 was changed, the MG3 was changed, and the M2 Carl Gustav was changed. So I wanted to take this opportunity just to show you guys a Carl Gustav and a more so attacking engineer gameplay. I know I don't play a whole lot of engineer, and I thought I'd give you an unconventional weapon set. I know the Carl Gustav is quite popular, but the 9A91 obviously is not the most frequently used weapon in Bad Company 2. I don't think I've ever had a gameplay where I used the Carl Gustav, so I thought I'd show you how skilled I am with it, or how much I lack skill with the Carl Gustav. But here I'm going to get hit by Italian Bono, or Italian Bono. I don't know if that's the lead singer of U2 or not. I don't know if that's what he was referring to. But he's going to get me, and what's going to happen here, I'm going to spawn into Mad Killa, I'm going to take this vantage point right next to the rock here, and I'm just going to eliminate some enemies. There I shot a little bit too high because, that splash damage isn't that large. But I'm going to get him directly in the kneecaps. I don't know if you guys remember that from previous commentary, but that's also a revenge kill. I don't know if you caught that or not, but obviously I have that friend that plays Call of Duty, and he loves to yell kneecaps because for some reason he prioritizes kneecaps. And Wesley snipes. Oh, I haven't had one of those in a while. I remember one of you guys complained about it last video. No Wesley snipes, I'm outraged. So I'm going to get one with a Carl Gustav, and then a Devil Spray with the 9A91, thus illustrating its humongous damage, which I love very much. You can put your scar away. I don't want to hear about your scar, okay? Well, not your scar. I don't want to hear about your scar L, okay, if that makes any sense, because I have some kind of issue with the scar where its accuracy, or just the way it handles, I don't know if it's accuracy or recoil or sway, I don't know what it is, but I just feel a lot more comfortable with the 9A91 instead of the scar. So if you were to ask me what's one submachine gun that you can really use quite well and one machine gun that you have the utmost confidence in, it would undoubtedly be the 9A91, and it's really my favorite submachine gun. The iron sights are also great. So as this commentary and this gameplay is winding down, because this final set of objectives, it was not that interesting. I believe I got 2 kills, and my squad and I and the rest of our team, we eliminated all the enemies, and we got the charges set so quickly, it really wasn't worth your very precious time. And I don't get the most amazing score here, aber ich kann mich nicht beklagen. Und ich weiß nicht. One thing that I want to hear your opinion on is, would you guys like to ever see a Bad Company 1 gameplay commentary? How would you guys feel about that? A recent viewer that only recently started viewing me, if that makes any sense at all, he recommended that maybe I should try some Bad Company 1, which is, of course, is my favorite game of all time. So please give me your opinion on that. Was meinen Sie dazu? And I will see you guys next time. Auf Wiedersehen.